Welcome everyone for Oneness Meditation. Welcome everyone for Oneness Meditation Katha sessions. And today we are having Master Sharoo Sahini, who is connecting from New Delhi, India, and she will be sharing on the topic negative self, a boon or a bane. And she's a really great master. And my wife shall give a short introduction about Sharoo Master.
So, welcome, Masters. Sharoo is a third eye master who was born with the intuition of spiritual healing. Her life dramatically changed when she started meditating in 2011 and intuitively started connecting with the angels and the angelic realm. It seemed like the entire universe was guiding her towards the path of spiritual healing. Somewhat confused, lost her embroiled with a lot of challenges, she suddenly found herself amidst this beautiful divine world. It was the angelic voice which connected with her and asked her to tell people about angels. She spent countless hours meditating, reading, and talking to the angels, and gradually started taking sessions on a myriad of spiritual topics, angels being her favorite. Founder of Spiritual Aloha, a spiritual platform, and also the author of the book The Awakening, angel communicator and therapist, animal whisperer, past life regressionist, karma board reader, and also Akashic record reader. We welcome you, Master, for the session of Oneness Meditation Qatar.
Thank you so very much for this introduction, and thank you so very much for giving me this opportunity here to be on this platform and to talk to all of you. So basically I'm going to talk about the negative self, whether it's a boon or it's a bane. And there are a lot of things that we are going to talk about, but I just want to say one thing to all of you, that I want the participation of each and every one of you, because if you want this session to be boring, I can make it super boring. But if you really want that we should discuss, we should learn something from this session, then you guys also have to participate, and you guys also have to talk about so many things that we are going to discuss, so that you learn from me and I learn from you. So this is what we are going to do today. But before that, we are going to meditate a little bit so that we can invoke certain energies. I think there are people who do not want to be in this session, and they are writing certain things which are not acceptable. So can you please just look into that, Sankirt?
Yes, ma'am. They are joining with different names. That's the problem. They are not joining same name. They are joining with different names, so we are not able to know who is actually.
Sharoo ji, this is Aarti. I think you can switch off the chat.
Yeah, I will better
Disable chat.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and how do I do that? How do I disable?
I will disable.
Please, yeah, just disable the chat, please. I don't want to see all these things that are coming up. And if there is anybody who doesn't want to be in this session, so please be my guest, get out of this session. There is no issues at all. I will not mind at all, because only those people who really want to learn, they're going to be here in this session. So that is something which I want to request you. If there is anybody who wants to go out, even if there is only one person who is here in this session, I'm going to take the session for that person who's really interested in their spirituality, in advancement of this spirituality. Otherwise, that's okay with me.
Yes,
So
madam.
we're going to, yes, Sankeet.
Yes, ma'am, disable chat. They can't message.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sankeet. So we're going to meditate a little bit so that we can invoke different energies, the divine energies that I've been invoking for a very long time. The music is wonderful, beautiful. Just try to be with your breath and try to be with your energies, with the energies of the divine, with the cosmos, with the universe. And slowly and gradually, you will see that if you're actually and genuinely doing all these things, your life is going to transform the way it transformed mine. So I'm going to share the music. Please listen to the music. Just you have to focus on your breath. You have to not think about, consciously not think about anything. You have to be with your breath. You have to be with yourself. You have to be with the angels. So I'm going to share the music and just be with the music for 10 or 15 minutes. So we are going to come back again and we are going to discuss a lot of things. Please let me know if the volume is okay for all of you.
Perfectly.
Hello.
slowly and gently. Whenever you want, whenever you feel, you can come back to your physical awareness and you can welcome this world with gratitude and with a beautiful smile on your face. Hello everyone. Hope you had a beautiful short 10 minutes meditation. You were able to be with your breath. You were able to feel a lot of things. Okay. See, I'm again and again saying that if there is anyone who is not interested in being here, you can silently go and just please be here only those people who are really interested in their spiritual growth. I would be really, really grateful to them. Okay. So since there are not very many people over here, so I just want this session to be a more discussion based, and that is the reason why I am telling you that to participate. So since the topic over here is negative self, whether it's a bane or a boon. So I just want to hear from all of you here, whosoever is present here right now, that what do you think? Is negative self a bane for you or a boon for you? What is it? What have you been thinking? What do you think about the negative self? I just want you to participate in this discussion.
Hello.
Yes, Ankit.
Negative self, I feel means any negativity are coming towards our life is like a challenge from which we have to learn. That is what is my view. Anything,
Yes.
something learning will be there. That's the reason it has come. So that's my opinion.
So do you think it should be there and it should not be there? What do you think?
Both should be there so that we can balance it. I feel.
Yes.
Good and bad should be there. Otherwise, we don't know what is the value of bad. If anyone is present, that's the reason. So both are there in the universe. To know which is correct and wrong to in the universe. That's it. I feel.
Yes, that is absolutely true. Absolutely true. So, so when we talk about boon or a bane, the negative self, whether it's a boon or a bane, so we have to be really careful of what we are thinking, whatever is the reason why this negative has come back to you. Is there anybody else who wants to tell me why this negative self is a boon or a bane, means a curse? So is there anybody, because there's so many people who keep saying that, why is this happening to me in my life? Why is this coming to me in my life? Why is there such a situation in my life? And I'm sure that you guys also might have at one point of time, you also might have said the same thing to yourself. So I just want to know that experience of yours, whether you experienced this kind of a feeling ever in your life. So can you please come up and on this platform and can we just discuss this? Is there anybody who wants to share their experience or their feelings before I start sharing my experience? Because then it's going to be a long one. So is there anyone who wants to say anything? Any experience, past life experience or past experience that you might have had in which you really felt that it's a curse, the negativity should not be there? Is there anyone? Ramya, Artiji, anyone?
Ma'am, we know the value of positive only when we know what is negative in our life. Overthinking will make us the negative path.
Absolutely. Yes, Rajendraji, thank you so much for this valuable input. Yes, that is absolutely right. Unless and until we know what is the dark, how will we able to experience the light? And I think we all have done that. So when I take any kind of a session, my sessions basically are more about my experiences, which I always tell people. And this session is not an exception in that. So I'm going to talk about my experiences in that. So when we talk about the negative self, so from the beginning, I don't think so. This was something that we were born with, in the sense that we were being conditioned. All of us were being conditioned to, feel that there are negative emotions, there is negativity, and there is nothing negative should be there in your life. You should always focus on love. You should always focus on light. We should always focus on positivity, because when I came into spirituality, everybody used to tell me that, Sharoo, focus on love and light. Sharoo, focus on positivity. And even before marriage and during my childhood times and all that stuff, my parents also used to say the same thing. Sharoo, life is good, life is happy. Just focus on the happiness. Just focus on those memories, which are good, which are, beautiful. But after the marriage, when I started having these mental issues, mental health problems, I realized that, it's not like that. There is something missing, because life is not such a hunky-dory place where only positive is there, and if you focus on love and light, only love and light is going to be there, only positivity is going to be there. So I realized that focusing on love, focusing on positivity might bring you can say a temporary change in our lives, or it might give a temporary relief to us. But I don't think so it will ever be able to take care of the wounds there are in my life. So that's what I started understanding. And then when I came into spirituality, when I started understanding my own self, I started realizing that what I thought who I was completely different from what exactly who I am, who I actually am, because there was so much of discrepancy in that. And slowly and gradually, when spirituality started peeling those layers of my negative self, and it started transforming my negative into positive, that was the time when I started realizing that, hey, negative is something which is not to be disowned. And then because I used to have a lot of inner dialogue, inner conversations with the angels, and they started telling me that I have to sit with that inner child of mine, because that inner child of mine was very wounded. It was actually wounded completely, because there were so many things that I had seen from my childhood. After that, the situations changed, but the patterns kept repeating. That negative thing kept repeating. It kept coming to me. And it was, it was such a thing that I used to get so frustrated and depressed at that time. But when spirituality, when meditation started peeling those layers, I understood that, hey, I cannot disown my negative self, that my negative self is just like a small baby who is just standing there in front of me, who's just screaming for help, who's just saying that, hey, please hold my hand, please embrace me, please understand me, integrate me, and and just give a little bit of love to me. That is what, for me, the negative self became, a little loner child. And when I started actually sitting with that loner child, I realized that there is so much inside of me which was trapped. There was so much that I was not giving, actually I was not able to, pay attention to. There was so much which was locked inside of me, in my, conscious, unconscious self, in my subconscious self, which needed to be identified. So what happens is, why I'm saying that we cannot disown this negative self is because it is in this self of ours where there are hidden secrets that we always have from other people, something which we want to hide from other people, our shame, our guilt, our repressed emotions, our rejected emotions like anger, hatred, selfishness, greed, deceit. All these things are logged there, and we have logged it somewhere, in our subconsciousness. And what happens is, even if we try to disown it, even if you don't want to sit with it, what happens is it just keeps coming to us through different patterns, through different situations, through different circumstances. And then we get so damn frustrated that, hey, why is this situation coming to me again and again? Why such people are here again and again? It is all because that negative self, which is screaming for help, that negative self, which is saying that, hey, there's something wrong with you. You just have to sit with me and discuss it. That was not happening. And same thing was with me. I was not doing that. And that is the reason why there was so much of chaos in my life. All my relationships were chaotic. Everything was in chaos. My, my job, my life, my health, my mental health, my emotional health, physical health. It was all in drains completely. And it was at that time, when meditation and angels came, that was the time when they started peeling the layers one by one, and they started showing me my real face, who actually I was. They started showing me that how much anger, how much hatred I had for people, how much confusions I had, how much assumptions I had made about so many situations. And when I started actually seeing all these things, that was the time when I started healing myself. Now the question is, you will ask me that, hey, if we try to own the negative self, doesn't it mean that we are also owning the negative energy? Yes. When we talk about the negative self does have negative energy, which is very dense. And the more negative energy we have, the more denser it becomes and more constricted our life becomes. But then these energies are there to teach us something. These energies are there to tell us something. And if we are not doing that, these negative energies are going to increase, accentuate in our life. And then we start crying, and when then we start complaining that, why are these things happening? The question is, most of the people always think that, and they have asked me also, there were few people who came and asked me that, Sharoo, I do a lot of charity. I take care of the street dogs. I take care of, animals. I take care of the plants. I take care of the people. I give them shelter. I give them clothes. I give them food whenever they want. So do you think I also acquire that negative self? I don't think so, because I'm very good. I'm dedicated to the humanity, and I don't think so that I have anything which is bad in me, and I don't accrue any such karma. But as uncomfortable as it may sound to all of you, but each and every one of us, no matter what karma are we doing, we do possess a negative self. We do have that negative self in us. Why? Because we as human beings are made like that. We are, as human beings, have been, that they have put, the universe has put that dark and the light shade in us, because it is only through the dark the source knows that the door of the light is going to open up. It is not going to open up unless and until you actually take care of that darker side of yours. And what we usually used to do, we generally do not accept that dark side. We do not accept those things in us. If we have the low self-worth, if we have any kind of a guilt or shame, we don't want to accept it. We always are in a denial mode. No, we don't have it. And I also used to do the same thing, that, no, Sharoo, you don't have that. How can you say that you have that? But when the angels started showing me the instances, when they started showing me actually what was happening, then I got to know that, hey, Sharoo, you've got a lot of negative things inside of you which needs to be addressed and identified. So if there is anybody who comes and says to you that I am a very good person and that's why I don't accrue any kind of a bad karma, so I'm sorry to say that that person is completely faking it, and the person is not aware of his own self. And that person probably, because in spirituality, what happens is we try to, start wearing a mask. We wear a mask, everybody, each one of us. And that is why, there's so many people who come and ask and say that, I think, Sharoo, spiritual people are the most dangerous people. There's some people who have even told me that. And I said, yes, of course they are. Because in spirituality, even if they're spiritual, that spiritual ego, which is there inside of them, which makes them feel that they are superior, which makes them feel which makes them attached to that spiritual experiences that they have been having, is something which brings them to that realm, which is very dangerous, which becomes very dangerous. And they start, probably they start, you can say, discriminating the other people. So yes, spiritual people, sometimes they can become dangerous as well, because they always want to deny their negative self, because they think, oh, we are on that pedestal, we can do anything we want. But that is what it is. The spirituality means when you are digging up in your own self, when you know that you are becoming egoistic, and how that is the time the spirituality works, when you start bringing that ego down and you become more human, you become more humble, when you start learning the humility, that how humility can actually change your life. Because humility is something which is the first mantra of any spiritual person, which I seldom see in people, because that humility is being ignored, because they think that we are on the pedestal, we are there, and they think that this is not their negative self, this is something that they have earned. So this is very dangerous, very dangerous. That is why I said that, negative self is not a bane at all. It's a boon. For me, maybe initially it was a curse, because I used to curse it. I used to say that, hey, I'm having so much of situations and patterns and problems. No, I don't want this. This is just a curse. Why me? Why me? Why me? Why God is giving so many problems to me? Why am I the only person who should be getting this problem? But then when I started realizing all these things that the angels were teaching me, that was the time when actually things started opening in front of me, when I started actually understanding what it was. I'll give you a very common example, of anger. As I said, that people, everybody, keep logged these repressed emotions somewhere in their subconscious, and they don't even know that it is there. For example, the anger is there from the very beginning itself. We are conditioned, all of us, be it the man or a woman, we're being conditioned from the very beginning itself that we are not supposed to express the anger, because anger is bad. No, Sharoo, we cannot express the anger, because if you're going to express the anger, it is not going to be accepted by the society. So can you just see that what are we working for? We are working for the society. And how are we working? We are working according to the rules and regulations of the society, because we think that the society is giving a structure to us, and we cannot flout that structure, because as soon as we flout that structure by having some kind of other behavior and characteristics, then we will not be accepted in the society. And as soon as this fear creeps inside of us that, oh God, Sharoo, you will not be accepted, you will not be approved, you will not be loved by the society. No, you have to adhere to what they are saying. And then what does Sharoo do? Sharoo becomes completely different from what she is supposed to be. She wears a mask on her face. And as soon as she wears a mask on her face, her authentic self is completely hidden. Now she is not what she is. So similarly, that anger, she's been, because she is not getting an outlet, because she's being told from the very beginning itself that you're not supposed to express anything. So that anger gets into her somewhere. And then that anger, starts forming certain other issues and problems in her life. And what Sharoo becomes finally? Because of this anger which is developing inside of her, what Sharoo becomes? She becomes a hypocrite. She becomes a person who becomes very manipulative, a person who is going through a lot of anxiety and depression, a person who has got inflated ego, a person who has got chaotic relationship, a person who starts loathing her own self. This is what Sharoo becomes. And why? Because we are supposed to not to accept that, we're not to accept that negative self of us, because the society, the religious beliefs, the core beliefs, those those people who have given that structure to us, we are trying to come out of the structure and become somebody else, which we are not supposed to. So now what Sharoo has become a different personality. Sharoo has become a different identity. Sharoo has become somebody who is not Sharoo at all, who is not somebody who is love, who is compassion, who is empathetic, who is, who cares. Sharoo becomes different completely. And then that is the time when the problem starts coming. So when we talk about the negative self, what I feel is, that if we can accept the birth, why can't we accept the death? Because that is also negative. So, few days back, what happened was I also shared a very beautiful experience in the groups in which I am in. So there is a very small plant pot that I have, which was being gifted to me by somebody. And I was just taking care of her. And after some time, the flowers blossomed, very beautiful pink flowers, and the fragrance was beautiful. My room was completely filled with that. I used to love her. I used to love I had given her the name Pearl. I used to love her and speak and talk so much to her. But slowly and gradually, I just felt that this flower started wilting. And after some time, I saw that it was completely dried up. There was nothing there. Okay. And I started having a feeling. I started just having a feeling that what is this? What is it coming from? Where is it coming from? Why is it dying? I don't want her to die. I don't want her to die. And all of a sudden, after 3-4 days, I just see a beautiful branch, green branch coming out of it, a new one. There was a new growth. And all of a sudden, this feeling, this lesson that I learned from her was that, from the death, there was a new beginning. If we do not accept the negative, how can we accept the positive? Because it is from the negative that the positive was taking birth. So that was such a beautiful lesson that angels helped me learn through the nature, through that pot that I was having in my room. So negative is not something which I feel that it is to be, it is not to be taken care of. Because when I came into spirituality 11.5 years or 12 years back, I was being told, listen to only the positive thing, be positive, be positive, be positive. Why we want to be positive? Sometimes, you get angry. Sometimes you get irritated. Sometimes you get depressed. Sometimes you do want to cry. So why do you not want to do that? So when I understood that, I used to cry out loud. I used to sit with my anxiety. I used to sit with my depression. I used to sit with my emotions and see that what was there that was infuriating me, what was there that was riling me up, what was there which was disturbing me and terrifying me. And when I started sitting with these kind of emotions, that was the time I started coming out of them. That was the time that healing started taking place, because the acceptance came when I started in recognizing and identifying them. So today I would not say that that it is important that you have to become from negative to positive. It is important. I would rephrase it, and I would say that rather than becoming a positive person from a negative one, you should transform from being negative person to an authentic one. Because authenticity is something that is actually required in spirituality, which is actually missing. Because if you want to be authentic, you have to be brutally honest with you, which seldom people are. They don't want to be honest with yourself, with your own self, and they don't want to be honest with anything. So rather than being, transforming from negative to positive, I would say transform from being negative to authentic self. So this is what I had to share with all of you. And if there is any question or if there is any experience that you want to say, because see, the question is, I can speak about so many things and I can speak about negative self, but here I want all of you, to participate in this, because if we won't participate, we will not be able to get to the depth of the session. The session will be like 15 minutes, the speaker comes and the speaker goes. So I would want you to actually participate in that. And there is another one thing that I want to share with you, which I, in the morning itself, Master Ram, who's from Germany, and he's going to take the session here soon. So I noticed his status, and in his status, there were beautiful lines. And I asked him if I can just use that line, in the session, because it was really beautiful and which is related to our session. So I'm going to read these lines. It's from a beautiful author, and which says that the desire for more positive experience is itself a negative experience. I'm repeating this. The desire for more positive experience is itself a negative experience. And paradoxically, the acceptance of one's negative experience is itself a positive experience. It was a beautiful line which I received in the morning, and I asked, Ram sir, that if I can use these lines in the session today, because these are very profound lines that I found today, and I just wanted to share it with you. So if there is anybody who wants to share their experiences or ask any questions, please come.
If anyone wants to speak, please raise your hands. We will unmute ourselves because of the disturbance. Any questions or any experience sharing, please raise your hands. You can share this.
So you can share anything. I mean, you don't have to be restricted towards anything. You can share anything. Gee, yes. Kanyan.
Yes, Kanyan, you can speak.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening, Master. First, thank you so much for your great wisdom sharing service.
Thank you.
To all masters. And I had one question, ma'am. I think 2 weeks ago I saw your video, one video in PMC, rationally behind reincarnation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was nice.
Thank you.
Today I joined with this session. Thank you. Then,
Thank
question
you.
is, can you tell me about Akashic record briefly? Because you said you are the Akashic record reader.
Yes. So what is it that you want to know about Akashic records?
Because I heard some other story about this from a senior master.
Mm-hmm.
She said we cannot read other Akashic record. Even like Brahmashri Patriji also cannot like that. I heard from him. That's why just I want to know about, because you said Akashic reader means you are a reader reading others Akashic record also, or only yourself?
No, I read other people records if the angels allow me, and if the person who is sitting there gives me the permission, because I cannot read the Akashic records unless and until I have a permission from the people who's from the person who's asking. For example, Sankeet has not asked me, and if I start reading the Akashic records of Sankeet, then I interfere in his karmic account and I become also a party to that karmic indulgence, so which I'm not supposed to do. So unless and until I have a permission to do that, unless and until I have permission from the angels and the higher beings, I do not read.
Okay. Then sometimes I mean, why we should go past?
No, Akashic records is not just about the past. It is about your present. It is about your, future. Basically, it's like, Akashic records are very dynamic records. So right now, whatever action I'm doing through the words or through any my emotions or through anything, it is getting recorded because these are dynamic records. So they keep changing. So we have, the ability to erase these records and rewrite, in the sense that, for example, I am looking into my Akashic record through meditation. And if there is something that I feel that, okay, due to this action, due to my action, my future is going to be in a peril. So what I will do is I will try to change that action. Okay, so there is nobody who is responsible for this, because I'm responsible for my life, and I am changing my Akashic records on my will. Okay, so that way I dissolve my karma also, because if there is something that is needed and required to balance out and release my karma by changing my action, then I will change my action and I will do that. So, Akashic records is something which anybody can read with meditation, lot of meditation, and when they are completely focused and when they surrender. But yes, reading the other people's records, unless and until you have a permission, you should not, and we must not read.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for
the
explanation.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Shukriya. Thank you so much. Yes, anyone else? Arey, aajo, it's okay. I mean, you can share anything. You don't have to be fixated with the topic that, oh, negative self, I don't have a question, I don't have an experience. You can talk anything. This is just a Sajjan Sangatya that we are doing, right? We are discussing things. We are trying to understand life. We are trying to understand spirituality. So the more questions there are, it will help you and it will help the listeners also.
Sharoo ma'am, this is Ramya.
Yeah, hi Ramya, how are you?
Yeah, fine ma'am, fine. It's excellent ma'am. Can you elaborate about parallel self, parallel souls? Do you have any idea about that?
Parallel souls in the sense what? Parallel realities that you're talking about?
Yeah, just like...
No, what are you talking about? Are you talking about the parallel realities? The alternate realities?
Realities or something like that. If it is correlated to this session, you can... Otherwise...
Alternate realities are not, it's not related to the negative self or the positive self. Alternate realities means there are alternate and different parallel universes that exist in the same realm where we are. And for example, today Sharoo in this in this world is a spiritual person and is doing something, but in some universe she's something else. She has taken some other role. She has a different karma that she is doing. So Sharoo is not just one here. Sharoo is at several places, at different universes. So it is not related to the negative self at all. This is about the alternate or the different realities that we're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes. So anyone else? Before we wind up this session, you just have few minutes. If you have got any questions, you can, because then otherwise I'll just rush back, because there is another session that is going to take place at 9:30. So if there's anything that you want to say, speak, talk, express. Okay, I hope you like this session. If you like the session, please raise your hand. At least itna to bata do. Did you like the session or not? Okay, so okay, Kanya, he's the only one who likes the session. Bah. Okay.
So,
okay, thank you so
Madam,
much, Aarti ji. Yes.
In YouTube Live, they have one question and they will just ask. Yes, Master, you can just tell, please.
Yeah, I would like to know that, because sometimes I'll like in my...
It's audible?
Yeah.
It's not audible. It's not audible. Just listen to them and you just give the question to me.
Yes.
Thank you, Rajendra ji, Aarti ji. Thank you so much. My God, it's such a long question. I'm waiting patiently. Till that time, is anybody there to talk?
Hello.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
His question is, in the sleep, when he is in deep state, or after meditation, he is getting like small insects like lizards, those things they're getting the dreams. Who is asking what does indicate? Anything is there? He can, that's his question.
The lizard? He's seeing the lizard?
Yeah, lizards or any small insects are coming in his dream. When he's in deep sleep or deep state of meditations, like those things are coming in his emotion. So what does that indicate? He is asking.
Okay. Okay, so what is his name?
Manibhushan.
Manibhushan.
Manibhushan. Manibhushan.
Manibhushan.
He is in YouTube live. He's not able to ask questions.
Okay. So Manibhushan, it's sir, the thing is, when we talk about any kind of a dream, when we talk about any vision, when we talk about any experience, so unless and until that experience is reaching out to you 2 times, 3 times, 4 times at least, till that time it is not a message. But if you really want to decode it, then you really have to see that how many times those insects are coming into your dream time or during your meditation. For example, today you saw the lizard, tomorrow you saw something, maybe some other insect. Then you have to write it down. You have to write it down. Now, I'll just give you an example. For example, you saw the lizard. Now, what does the lizard do? The lizard always quietly, she stands somewhere, or she sits somewhere. She does not buzz. She does not move. She is very mindful of everything that is happening, and she is not doing a thing at all. And all of a sudden, if an insect comes, she just eats it. That is what basically the lizard does. Otherwise, she's a harmless, insect. So sometimes it happens that the angels or the light beings are giving you the messages through these dream times where they are trying to tell you to be mindful of your life, the way the lizard is, because the lizard doesn't say anything. The lizard doesn't do anything. She just quietly just sits and observes. Or maybe your life needs more of an observation. Maybe you're reacting more towards your life rather than observing your life. So maybe they are trying to tell you that, Manibhushan, you have to observe your life rather than reacting to life. So there are a lot of connotations to a dream. So you have to sit, you have to write down each and every detail, that, what did I see? How many times did I see? And what was something that I saw? Each and every detail is very important. And once you do that, you will be able to decode your dream. I have just given you a vague example of the lizard because you said that you saw the lizard. So this is what the basic rule of a lizard is. And maybe the angels are trying to tell you through that lizard something. So you have to sit and decide and decode the message. Yeah. I hope I was little clear, because it's a very vast topic. I cannot just do it in one go, because this is something which is very subjective. Each message that we get from the angels or the light beings is very subjective. So for me, the lizard will mean something else. For you, the lizard will mean something else. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much. Amazing answer.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Aarti Master, Rajan, I want to speak anything? You just raised hands.
No, they raised hand because I just asked them whether they like the session or not.
Thank you, Masters. Thanks everyone for joining the session. Even thanks, Sharoo Madam, for your amazing topic today you shared.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your wisdom and your meditation, Madam. Even though your disturbance, yeah, definitely successfully we completed the class. That's important. We got support. They are disturbing, but at any cost, somehow we got solution and we did it today the class.
Yes. Thank
Example,
you.
this is the negative forces which are coming and disturbing us, but we are taking it as a positive and as a boon. That's it.
Yes, it was a boon. Yeah, it was a boon. Yeah, it was something that we had to.
Live example of the topic was.
Yes, absolutely.
We could overcome this.
Absolutely. We did overcome, all of us. So, yeah. So thank you to them also. They were also giving us a lesson. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Live example. Yeah. So So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Sankeet, for giving this beautiful opportunity to me. So thank you so much for listening to me. Shukriya and shukran and bahut namaste. Thank you so very much. I'll meet you again, maybe some other time, and maybe in some other universe also. So thank you so very much. Shukriya. Dhanyawad. Dhanyawad. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all, masters. Thanks for joining today. We'll meet again next week. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.